Awesome sauce.
I'm gonna make sure I can actually see us. It says it's setting it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see.
Yep, meeting's now streaming live on Facebook.
You see it?
Yep.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yes, we did it.
Yay.
Golly. Okay.
Now all we
so
gotta do is get thrown off.
no,
Okay,
don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm kidding.
So we're gonna use code tonight, right?
I don't know if we have to though.
Okay. So for everyone who's never been here with us before, my name is Dr. Sharnael, Wolverton-Sehon, and Jason Q is here. This is our show. We're here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, and we would love to have you every week. Oh my God, Jason. Okay, so StreamYard would not work. So we're not on YouTube this very second, or Twitter, unfortunately,
Okay.
but I will have to upload it to YouTube later after this so people can see it on a Premiere or something, because I couldn't log in no matter what I did. And then even Zoom, I tried to log into Zoom and it was giving me trouble too. And then my internet kept crashing, so I have to use my phone for like a
Hotspot.
Yep. And so that's fun. And let's just hope that that help, like that it does it for the whole time. I can't see comments. I don't know. Can you see comments?
No, actually I can't, but let's see. You go to Facebook. How about we do that?
Will it give an echo though if you do that?
No, because I have it on the I'm not I'm just checking it out. I'm not gonna sit there and read all of everybody's questions and all that, because I mean, if I did that, I'd be way off target. Okay, hello from Seattle. Hello, Terry.
Oh wait, I can see it. Okay, so you can share this to your Facebook page too, I think, so people can see it on your page too, if you want.
I just did.
Awesome.
There
So
we go.
all right, people, and you got a haircut, huh?
No, just combed it. Not wearing a hat. You know.
Okay, well, I thought you had a haircut, but that's okay.
Well, thank you then.
You look great. Space Force too.
Yeah, I thought I'd sports that because we're gonna be going old school, it seems. Why not? How
is everybody tonight? Oh, y'all, where are you checking in from? I'd love to see where you're at. I know we got, let's see, I can see the notes now. Got Colorado, Kentucky. Someone said they sent you cookies. Did you get them? Did you get the cookies?
It says I want to bring you cookies. How do I get them to you? You can mail you can mail them. Yeah, that always works.
Newfoundland. Yes, you're right. Thank you for reading that correctly.
But Tiffany, looks like we're fellow Hoosiers here, huh? Nice.
Minnesota, West Virginia. I'm glad you can see the comments too, and it's not just me.
Terry Banks as well. Fort Wayne. Wow, a lot of Indiana showing up. I like that.
Nice.
A lot of Hoosier love there. Nice.
Speaking of Indiana, someone sent me a picture of what's going on right close to where you are. It was a straight shot of like, I don't know, lights in the sky that weren't moving, but they were sort of like flashing, and there was like, I don't know, 50, 60 of them, as far as you could see either way, right over where you live. Just so when you're talking about them doing all this stuff, now I'm like, oh my gosh, because I mean, it's like very tangibly you could see it, even in a picture.
Well, I mean, there's even a video that I actually watched today, and this Mark Christopher. I mean, 55 minutes of pure just pleasure to listen to. I mean,
I'll be honest. I know you sent it to me.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't have time, but I could just give you a rundown.
Interviews all day long. Please tell me all about it. I want to know. Tell me.
It is literally Nasera and Jacera, and he is just busting the balls out of everybody in it. I mean, it's remarkable. I mean,
And who is this guy?
he's working right under, he's the federal postal judge of the
Okay.
world. So technically, he's right with Russell J. Gould and war castles and everything like that. Because yeah, once you go down that rabbit hole with Operation Education, Task Force Sheepdog, that's where you get your 11/11. Because it was 11/11/16 when they did that.
Wow. So what was he saying in the video? What's the
Oh, it's explosive. I mean, he was going off on all the banks and literally saying that they're all he was actually like, I mean, he was literally like telling them all that they're all like they've all been had. They're all done. I mean, he literally like just stepped right on the neck of them.
what?
And this is actually Black Thursday, because in the World War II thing that we read with Black Thursday,
Wow.
and it's like, you gotta be
And it is
kidding me. I
Black
mean,
Thursday.
yeah, that it is. That it is.
So who was he who was he addressing, like specifically,
Oh,
or
he's
just everybody?
addressing the American people, actually the people of the world,
Oh my gosh.
because I mean, it's the one world of humanity, and that's what it is. It's the one world government, because that's why Trump got all the signatures. Trump actually has control of every country in the world,
Wow.
and people don't realize it. He is that powerful. It goes with him being the highest military order of Christ. Like we said before, who he is. People want to say no, no, no. It's like, yes, yes, yes. It's not like we did this research for nothing. We did it for something.
So he is basically went off on everyone who's doing anything out of alignment.
Yeah,
And
and Travis is right. He mentioned FEMA camps for all the elite. I'm like, oh,
for the
be still
for
my
the
beating heart.
elites.
Yes, he authorized Donald John Trump to open up all of the FEMA camps for all the elite. I was like, oh, who needs Christmas? When we can have a Thursday. That's it. I mean, you get a day like this, it's like, this is great.
So I wonder, anyone watching, was this on the news or anything, or what is this
No,
where
it was on YouTube.
So
Strictly on
YouTube, he put it on YouTube, and I'm sure anybody isn't going to put anything out about this, because why would they want it to be public, right?
We did. We put it out there, and I mean, because everything that we've researched and all that, and after watching it, and after comprehending what he stated and what we have, it's a match. I mean, unless this guy's sneaking in and like like soul snatching me or something like that, but I doubt that. So either that, or just maybe just a crazy guess. No.
Did
No,
did he physically call out any political names, or any, like, did he name call?
he called out the Bush family.
He
He
did.
called out the whole Bush family. Yes.
I have got to see
And
this.
it was, it was the most, because he has that British accent. So it's like the most prim and proper ass reaming that you'll ever hear. I mean, it is just, I was like, wow, this is, I can listen to this.
Huh.
This is good. I mean, I'm just like it's one of those that your jaw drops low. You're like, oh, this is good. Oh, this is good. This is good. It's like,
So-
oh man,
So if he puts all this in motion,
he already did.
then what happens from that?
He negated all the loans and he told us about all the mortgages and everything about the voting, about how they had us by the balls by the voting. It was our because we gave up our what all rights to an attorney, when we sign a mortgage or sign a loan,
Yeah.
and it's in the little fine print. And I mean, he came out and he said that it was deceit how they did this, and there you have it. I mean, he literally like came on out and said that these banks, they're all fraudulent and they got to be stopped. And it's just, I mean, it's great, and it goes right along the lines of everything that they're doing in place. I mean, everything. I mean, when they mentioned banks, he mentioned Fannie Mae. So you know what Fannie Mae is?
Yeah.
That's the school tuition. It's like
Right.
this is great. So it's like
Schools, mortgages, pretty much
everything,
everything.
credit cards. He said he named everything. I mean, he's he's good.
Did he
Very good.
mention anything about Trump specifically, like about Trump or the presidency or where this goes? Or, I
Well,
mean, besides
he
the FEMA camps?
he gave Trump authorization to open up the FEMA camps, and he's like, I don't I don't I don't side with him, but I am giving him official, um, you know, what was it up? He's giving him official permission to open up the FEMA camps for the elite, because that's why you have the Navy and everything all on the West Coast and everything. They're all lined up. It's like nobody's getting by. And the thing is, if they try to run to the border of Canada, the Canadian military can't do anything because they're still, they're still on the Queen's tit. So what do we do? Hey, Xi, hey, you want to send over some of those Chinese soldiers? Yeah, send them over. Have them all on the border. And the thing is, it's like, I mean, what better way? You're going to mask an illusion. Like, we're going to get invaded by the Chinese. Do you know how fucking stupid you'd have to be to invade us? Especially China? With Trump in there? You had a better chance of winning against Bareback Barry in the last 8 years than you do against fucking Trump right now. Trump will, I mean, there's no way. Trump and Xi are like this, especially since he signed the peace agreement. That's how he got the Talano Gold Certificate from the Dragon families, and got inducted to the White Dragon Society in the Forbidden City. So he's not going to cause any war. They're not going to cause any war. But we got to have a narrative that it's like, who's going to shoot these fuckers once they cross the line? Go ahead and cross it. That's why they put the wall on the south end. Because the north end, it's wide open. Go ahead. Because you only have to guard so much. Because it's only Washington that's sold out. Not the people, the government.
Right.
Washington, Oregon, and California. Well, and then you got New York now too. They're all sold out to the county. Other one, a session. I think the state of California are gonna totally just recall every person that they haven't voted in anybody because none of our votes will count. Yeah.
Right.
So now what are you gonna do? So the best possible way is have just one big new vote with the blockchain on January 19th and just say, this is it. And we found exactly where it is. Found the 5-5.
From where?
The 5-5.
Oh,
The Virginia
okay.
Declaration of Rights, right? Thing is that it was ratified on June 12th, 1776. What is our delta? if we're traveling in time, it's 2, right?
Right.
Okay. June 12th, add 2 days. What do you have?
Wow. 14.
You have Donald John Trump's birthday and Flag Day,
Yeah.
June 14th. Now, thing is that this declaration, now this is actually in that big the CV, the big 171 page packet with the bioweapons on, and it's in there because that's where we got Emmett. That's where we got Emmett Sullivan, right in the same area. The 5 Declaration of Rights. It's right here because the Declaration was adopted unanimously by the 5th Virginia Convention at Williamsburg, Virginia on June 12, 1776. So 1776, that's your 777, it's 21. That's it. You have your June 12th, add your 2 days for your
Delta.
add the 2 days for the Delta, and you got President Trump's birthday. And then it was a separate document from the Constitution of Virginia, which was later adopted on June 29th, 1776. So then, depending on how many timelines you're on, if you're on the 2, if you're on another timeline, what do you have? 1, right? So you take the June 29th and you go back 1 month. What do you have? JFK's birthday, May 29th.
Oh, wow.
Yep. All by the numbers. They play everything by the numbers. And it says, in 1830, the Declaration of Rights was incorporated within the Virginia State Constitution as Article 1. But even before that, Virginia's Declaration of Rights stated that it was, quote unquote, the basis and foundation of government in Virginia. But in Virginia was out of quotes, but basis and foundation of government. So there's our foundation. Our foundation is the Declaration of Rights, right?
Mhm.
And there were 10 articles that were initially drafted by George Mason circa May 20th to 26th, 1776. 3 other articles were added in the committee. It says the Declaration can be considered the first modern constitutional protection of individual rights for citizens of North America. Notice, North America, not just
Yeah, that's
America.
bigger than us.
Not just,
That's bigger than us.
No, exactly. Because what they did is that when they wrote this, I mean, they wrote this perfectly. Like, you could take this on a world stage, and that is what Trump did. When Trump got all those signatures from all those countries, what that did was that made all of them under our Bill of Rights and Declaration of Independence. So they're all free. So he's effective. I mean, he's essentially like freed the whole world, is what he did, by having everybody under one constitutional republic as one law, and then where it's going to be, of the people, by the people, for the people. So everybody will actually have their own, their own governments, but encompassing, you're going to have, where everybody has their, freedom of speech, right to bear arms, and all this. And
I'll tell you what, dude. So I don't know if you've heard of Magenta Pixie, but she's actually going to be on the panel with us next week. Laura Eisenhower, Magenta Pixie, and we're still working out the other 2. But I say all this to say Magenta's been saying this for a while. I mean, I know you are too, but she's saying this and some other 2. She's in England, and she's been getting stuff on Trump. Oh God, like way before. And it's not even cool for her to be, you know what I mean? It's not even like cool for someone in the UK to be a Trumper, you know what I mean? It's like, why? But she gets all this information, and she's been saying that she felt that it would be some sort of thing where it would be the whole world would eventually, that she may actually be able to look to him as a president or a leader of some kind, going back to the whole thing, what we've been saying, the last president, because it would be like a whole new type of situation where he would be a leader of some kind. And that she said that it wouldn't be like automatic, but that people could choose,
yeah,
or
and they have the Earth Plan. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I
But they have
haven't.
the Earth Plan, and it's like a whole constitution. I mean, it's I think it's earthplan.org or earthplan.com.
I'll look
But
it
and
up.
then you go, when you click it, we'll put in notes and all that. And when you go at the top, it says Constitution. You click on Constitution, and I mean, it goes in depth. Like, I printed it up and I read it, and I was amazed by how in depth and how great this document was. I mean, if I wasn't such an American, if I wasn't red, white, and blue, I mean, I would say that was one of the greatest documents ever written. But sorry, man,
Nice.
gotta go with the forefathers on this one. Gotta stick
You
with them.
definitely got to put that link in here. I want to see.
And it says right here that the Declaration both describes a view of government as the servant of the people and enumerates its separation of powers into the administration, legislature, and judiciary. Thus, the document is unusual and that it not only prescribes legal rights, but it also describes moral principles upon which a government should be run. Wow,
Yes.
imagine that. A government with morality. Huh, who thought, right? They did. Yes, we didn't. And the thing is, it's like when you like read all this, it's like Article 1, it states all men, all men, it's all women, all men, everybody encompassing, are by nature equally free and independent, and have certain inherent rights of which they cannot deprive or divest their posterity, namely the enjoyment of life and liberty, with the means of acquiring and possessing property, and in pursuing and obtaining happiness and safety. Which is pretty damn
Covers it
nice. I mean,
all.
it's common sense. I mean, yeah, encompasses all. Then we get to Articles 2 and 3. That is where some shit hits the fan. That's some 23 right there. It says all power is vested in and consequently derived from the people, and that whenever any government shall be found inadequate or contrary to these purposes, a majority of the community hath an indubitable, unalienable, and indefeasible right to reform, alter, or abolish it in such manner as shall be judged most conducive to the public weal. And it's like, yeah, abolish it. I mean, when you think about this, like the whole house, it's like, just get them out of there.
Wow.
Like when they talk about this first arrest, I mean, I'm still sticking with my pick with the House of Representatives, because they knew about this whole COVID the year before. They even signed that law, the whole CARES Act. It was hidden in that Cadillac text on 7/17/19.
Yep.
It's like, there's your 7, there's your 17, there's your CV 19. It's like right there. And it has all the 416 people, I believe, that voted for it.
Yep.
Well, if they voted for it, then they knew that it was coming.
Yeah, and you
You
can
know,
look that up,
ev-
you guys. Like
yeah,
everybody, what he's saying, I found that out in January. In January, I found it, and I was like, that sounds like they're up to something. Why are they already putting this in? And it's January, and this is July that they put it in.
yeah.
It's like, that sounds a little fishy.
Well, and they it was Joe Connolly from Connecticut. He was a Democrat, and he entered it in on January 24th or 27th of 2019. That's where he entered into the House of Representatives. So I mean, they had that whole time to just because when you look at I printed up the CARES Act. I mean, it's like this thick.
Wow.
And I'm like, so what you're saying is that if they just they just happen to come across this, so now we got to hurry up and make something. It's like, so you're gonna tell me that you wrote this much in like under a month? I think not. You guys put a lot of thought in this, and you're out to screw a lot of people. Because I mean, the thing is, when you look at all the people that are in charge, you got Swalwell. He's over there with finger banging Fang, and it's like he's totally like, you sold us out, and then you're sitting here saying that President Trump is a piece of shit, and that Russia. It's like, you were getting Chinese takeout, buddy, about 5 years ago. I don't think that you have any room to talk, none. So and then Nancy knew about it. They all knew about it, and even when you dig into Feinstein, I got an article on Feinstein. I mean, she actually declared San Francisco and Shanghai sister cities. I mean, who does that? They're commies.
Commies.
I mean,
commies do that.
Commies do commie shit,
Well, and going back, I think I posted this like, let's see, last week sometime. The Jerusalem Post. I don't know if you saw this about. I sent this link to you about the guy. the former Israeli space security chief.
Oh
He
yeah,
said,
coming out and saying that yeah,
yep,
that
because going back to the whole thing with Magenta and her basically confirming what this guy's saying, what you're saying, this is also saying the same thing. This is last week. I think it was the 7th, or I don't know what day it is anymore, but he's saying that they have been in contact with the Galactic Federation for years. The Galactic Federation, like we've been talking
since
about
the
that,
since the
but
50s. I mean,
yep,
talking to Eisenhower, I mean, that goes right up right in Laura's wheelhouse right there. I mean,
yep,
that's when Valiant Thor came down and gave President Eisenhower the Orion Cube,
yep,
and then that's when the Joint Chiefs of Staff was like, why don't you
47.
just fuck off? And he's just like, what? And that's like, I mean, they were getting ready to like help us and heal us and everything like that, and then that's when Eisenhower knew that military-industrial complex was really that dark.
And
And he's
he
like,
said something about it on his way out
yep,
too. He was
yeah,
warning
man,
us, just like Reagan warned us, just like JFK warned
yep,
us, all the good guys. But this guy, he is the defense ministry, 87-year-old former head of the defense ministry. And basically he came straight out and said that this is why Donald Trump had to make the Space Force, even though they tried to make
yeah,
fun of it and had a whole Netflix Space Force thing set up on purpose to coincide
oh
exactly
yeah,
when Trump did this to make fun of it. But he goes into saying, people were saying, well, how come? This is funny. I don't know if you saw this, but for those who haven't read it, they were saying, how come you didn't talk about this before? And he said, if I had said any of this 5 years ago, that they would have put me in the hospital because they would have thought they would have said he's crazy. He said he would have been hospitalized. But he said today people are talking differently. And he said people are actually coming out with truth. They have nothing to lose. He said he's received his degrees and his awards. He respected in all the universities abroad. And times are changing and the trends are changing. And he finally feels like he could come out and just be honest and tell everybody what was really going on. And he basically says that the whole Men in Black thing is like legit, like this is real.
oh yeah.
And yep.
They wouldn't make a movie if it wasn't legit, because they have that's a karmic law. You know,
Yeah.
they have to come out and they don't get these ideas from nowhere. I mean, it's
Yeah, he has a book that he published, the Universe Beyond the Horizon, Conversations with Professor Haim Eshed is his name, and I guess it's available now. But so yeah, he's probably selling his book too. That's the thing. But I'm happy for these whistleblowers to actually just say things out loud and be okay with talking about it. There are a lot of people waking up and people are realizing that we're not the only ones. And just like, you were saying about this new earth and maybe the way things are all going to go as far as leadership and what have you, she's been talking about the Galactic Federation. There's lots of people been talking about the Galactic Federation for a long, long time. And now we actually got it. Like the timing is interesting that it just comes out like now. That's cool.
and then you have the Galactic Confederation, and then you have the Intergalactic Confederation. That's actually encompassing the Galactic Confederation. That's where you get the Nun. That's where the Noon Society, Noone, and that would be the Nun is for Hebrew. It's the left side of a kill box. That's what the
Really?
bracket's called. That's what the bracket's named, a nun. Yeah, but well, I'm sorry. I think the left hand side one is inverted nun, and the right handed one is a nun. So one's inverted and one's a nun. That's why they have a kill
When you
box.
say the kill box, you're talking about the brackets.
The brackets, yes, just the brackets, not with the little with the little nipple on it, just flat bracket.
Yeah, I saw that just on I don't know if you guys got to watch the 1,000 Pieces documentary by Roger Richards, but he actually has 1,000 pieces in brackets. And I was like, what does that mean? I know it means something, but So you're saying kill box.
Shattered the CIA in 1,000 pieces. I mean, and then why they had 1,000 pieces is that's the
Kennedy, because Kennedy said he was going to break it up into 1,000 pieces.
well, that and it's 1,000 points of light. That's actually
Oh,
George, but yeah, that's at the Mothers of Darkness castle. That's what they have in that dome. It's like 1,000 shards of glass that's all like glued in there,
oh my
and
gosh.
it's like, you know, it's this whole satanic, you know, uh like this room that they do all these rituals in, and that was actually the name of uh George H.W. Bush's charity that actually created. Uh, uh, we might as well just go off the rails on this one. Just gonna go make
Tell
a
me,
hard right.
yes.
So what they did is that there's right by the CIA. Okay, you have a Claude's old colonial pig farm. Okay, which is like right in front of the CIA building. Right. Then you have over in the woods off of George Washington Highway, tucked away. There's Grandma Rita's orphanage, right? And
Okay.
it's actually sponsored by 1,000 Points of Light, George
Wow.
H.W. Bush, and all that because it was close to CIA. So then, um, across from there, there's a huge neighborhood, big houses. Well, in there, it was February of 2018, I believe. 2017, 2018. I think it was 2018. But they had this massive fire at this mansion, right? Well, it was the United Arab Emirates. Um, it was their like uh, it was a house where their diplomat stayed, but they would have parties, right? So of course, if they're throwing parties, who do they invite? Tony and John Podesta.
Mm,
So we see where this is going, right?
hmm.
You have an orphanage, you have a pig farm, you have the CIA, and then you have, you know, pretty much, because when you're a diplomat, you can actually have things sent to you that cannot be inspected, like live art. They could actually have a child in a box and have tape wrapped all around it. You could see the child, and it says live art on it, and it could be, you know, sent to a diplomat, and there's nothing you could do about it. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
That is
You know,
horrible.
but that's why they burnt the whole thing down, because they wanted to burn all the evidence up. That's why they closed the whole that old colonial pig farm down, because Podesta was actually, he used to work there when he was younger as an apprentice. You know, 4 a.m. You know, going out there and just feeding the hogs. Well, what do hogs eat? So now, you know, going down that dark road. So it's like now you see the whole circle. You know, you got the orphanage, you got the parties, the pig farm, orphanage, party, pig farm, CIA, and right in front of the CIA, right in front of the communists in America. You know, right there. They were watching all the time. You know, probably in on it too, because, you know, let's face it. I mean, they were never good, never.
So the 1,000 pieces is the foundation that was connected with that was supporting all of this.
That was the Grandma Rita's orphanage. So
Wow.
you know the Bushes were deep in this.
Well, and that's what JFK was saying, that he wanted to, the whole thing is he wanted to reorganize, like, and get rid of all the corruption in all these different intelligence agencies. And oh my gosh, if you haven't watched it, you guys all should watch 1,000 Pieces. There were some people bitching about $17, and I get it if you can't do it, whatever. But also, I am all about supporting and a director who is using all of his funds and money to make a very good quality movie that is extremely time sensitive right now. I mean, there was some, I've watched it 4 times, and I don't watch movies twice, but not because I didn't know all the information, but it is super good. And Kathy O'Brien's on it. If you know anything about her, oh my gosh, she tells all in this. And so does David Steele, David Steele, he's interviewed you, and he is like, oh my God, he goes off in this movie. Sean Stone is the narrator, and that's Oliver Stone's son. And if you know anything about this dude, he is straight up like, he's right where we are as far as he wants everything exposed. He wants truth. He wants love. He is.
And he probably saw his fair share. He's probably like just foaming, just pissed off, like beyond. Because he probably saw way more. Yeah.
He's seen a lot.
That will definitely screw with you big time. Just seeing it. And not being able to do anything.
He's doing everything he can now.
That's the thing.
He's whistleblowing right, left, and center. He narrated, and then John D'Souza's in it, and then there's a Robin Goots who is ex FBI. D'Souza is the guy who was the consultant for the X-Files. He's seen some shit, but he actually quit. All of these people quit these agencies because they were so over the corruption.
That's it. Whew.
And basically, Robert Steele actually said, I had to leave the agency that was supposedly serving my country in order to actually serve my country. It's anyway, I'm actually interviewing him next week. He also did Cosmic Secret and Above Majestic, but
Above Majestic was really good.
Oh yeah. So, but I can't anyway, but go ahead what you were saying. The 1,000 Pieces thing was the trail that led me down there, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I noticed that Carol, she posted about the Picton farm, and I've got some real good info on that. So this is how far this goes all the way down. Okay. So the Picton farms, what they had was, they had these pig farms, right? And they refurbished the whole inside, and they would pick up these prostitutes, or people that needed, women that needed money and all that, and they drug them all up. And they'd have all these guys, from governments and everything that come in, and they'd have these wild parties. But when they walked in, they all had to go through this quote unquote facial recognition software, right? And what it was the demon face recognition software. Now,
wait, what face?
It was called Demon Face Recognition Software. Demon Face. And the thing is that it was created by Starnet Communications in Canada and Stephen Paddock.
No.
That's Stephen Paddock. Yes. So people want to say that, Stephen Paddock, he's just a lone gunman. No. Number one, that was a clone that they shot, in that room. Because we have the picture of the scene, and it's like, well, wait a second. So you're going to tell me that, okay, you already told me that we're out spinning ball. Okay, just you got to get past that. But then you're going to tell me that Newton's law of physics and motion doesn't work on certain weapons. So if he shot himself with a revolver in the mouth, but then the revolver goes over his head and it lands above his head, but there's blood on the top of it. Yeah, and then there's something in the dry blood. It's like, you have got to be kidding me. You're actually giving us this shit? And
you gotta have some skills to do that, right?
That
impossible.
That Jesus Campos or Jesse Campos, that security guard.
Yeah.
Guess what he was? He was
Where?
MS-13. He was MS-13. He was MS-13. Yeah.
Dude.
Thing is, that's why Paddock, he skated out. They had a video of him that later on that week in where was it? Atlantic City? Gambling. And they had the guy was taking a video, and Paddock is right across from him at a blackjack table, and he's videotaping the date, and then he's looking right at Paddock, and then it's like, you gotta be kidding me.
Totally busted.
And then what else they had there? Where they had, now this is gonna get like, but I have the patent for it. It's by Bandit Industries. It's a how do I say it, man? It's a was it a horizontal drum? Or it's a vertical horizontal drum mount for a wood chipper. It's a drum that has a plurality of pockets around it, right?
Okay.
That catches anything that is thrown out of it, right? So yeah, what they did was they drugged up these women,
No.
they put them in the and then they would bet on how long they would last.
No.
That's how fucked up these people are. And it's like, I mean,
Can anyone say FEMA camps for the quote elite? I don't know if we can call them elite, can we? Can we just
No.
call them garbage?
No, I mean, we could easily just, I mean, we could throw them in wood chippers and have a shark week. I mean, shoot them off carriers. That'd be pretty cool. Or what we could do is we could dump them out of some, some osprey, and strap a GoPro to them, blindfold them and like duct tape their legs so they only have their arms and put
You've
them in
really
shark.
thought this through, haven't you? You've
Oh
actually.
yeah, and then what you could do is, well, since they like to bet on people, we could bet on them. We could bet on see who's going to last the longest and all that. And then it's like, who's ever camera gets eaten last is like they're the winner.
Except for we are all love and light and grace. And I'm not saying that we're not justice. I'm all about justice and they need to be put away. And also we probably shouldn't sit around thinking of ways to torture people.
We get a vacay. We want a vacation. We should be allowed a vacation. It only seems fitting, right?
Well, I really do hope this Jasara, I mean, oh my God, if this guy is legit and this is like a thing that's happening.
If you would have heard him, and that's the thing, I mean, that guy could have sold ketchup popsicles to women in white gloves at that point. Not even gonna lie. I mean, he was like that dialed in. I mean, this guy was just, I mean, he was just like, locked in. He's just like, and he's repeating himself. He's like, let me say it again.
Ketchup popsicles to what?
To women in white gloves.
Oh my God. Okay, so let's talk about how many states are jumping in on this whole lawsuit.
Oh, who cares?
Kind of cool.
That's all.
I know.
That's all.
I know who cares in the bigger picture because if all this happens.
We see. No. We found the calm before the storm as well, ma'am.
I'm just saying that regardless, if this thing happens that you're talking about, the fact that they're going to come out and like put their name in on a list, that's showing bravery and courage to me that these leaders are. What are you showing me? What is the paper?
Bravery and courage. No, that's showing that they're actually that they're showing that they're actually American. Because if they didn't, then we'd fucking castrate them. That's what we do. Because if you're not on that list, that means that you're not with Trump. Well, shit, you got to go. Bye. But no, we found the calm before the storm.
Okay, what does it say? It actually says the calm
before the storm. Yes, it does. And the thing is, what it is this awareness indicates that the patriot groups have begun making certain demands on Congress and on the governors of the states to move back towards the constitutional laws of this country. Constitutional laws of this country, this being done through a demand, a redress of grievances. This awareness indicates that it is a process that puts Congress and government officials on notice that the Constitution is the law of the land and that they are expected as elected officials to abide by the Constitution to which they have sworn an oath of allegiance, and that they are also informed that anything other is treason.
Whoa, bam.
Yes. I mean, that is just like, it says this awareness indicates that it does appear it will be a grave mistake for these entities to ignore this redress of grievances. It also appears that there are some who are taking this seriously, more so than any previous time. This awareness indicates this is the early stages.
Wow.
So yeah, found some pretty cool shit. Not
The
gonna lie.
early stages. So if this is the early stages,
Well,
no telling.
that was in 1983. Well, that
So
was on that one. Wait, this one. I'm sorry. That was the first one. This was 1995, March 7th.
March 7th.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Well, it sounds like a lot's been going on this week, and it is what, Humanity Week and all the different days that Trump declared these beautiful things. And he told us to celebrate the observances of it and to observe them and to celebrate. And he keeps
Yeah.
stressing that we're going to have the best Christmas ever. So I'm hanging on to that.
I'm telling you, honestly, if they're just like, just killing all these pedophiles, I mean, I think you made, you made more than just Christmas. I mean, this is more than just one holiday. I mean, you deserve a holiday, because I mean, if you think about it, growing up, we've always had the thought, would it be nice, if we had world peace, get rid of all the pedophiles and, I mean, decent people thought that. Other people, they didn't think that much. But we actually had those thoughts, and it's like, what would you do for humanity if if nothing ever mattered, and if money wasn't an object, who would you help, and this, that, and it always made you think. I mean, that was the one thing that I always in the back of your mind. It's like, it's like that would be pretty cool if you were able to do that. Well, now what if you
Now you
are?
could. Now
You
you
know,
could. Now you
and it's
wouldn't even,
like,
if this all goes down, like what would really be left to help anybody? Because everybody would be helped and it would just be a fresh start, real jubilee like there had been for years, and then it stopped. Like literally, how many jubilees did people really have over the years, and then it just
zero.
completely stopped?
Zero. You want to know why? The Jews. The Jews fucked all this up. The Jews and the Hebrews, they're the ones that fucked all this up. You can check it in First and Second Chronicles of the Old Testament. Go ahead. It's in there. They
Oh,
fucked it all up. They are the ones that screwed all this up. That's why people sit here and say, "Oh, the Jews." No, no, no. They're not the good. They're not the good ones. They're not good.
they,
Thing is that when it comes down to World War II, people are gonna hate it. But the ones that they killed, they were the Orthodox Christians. They were the ones from Poland, from Soviet Union, everything like that. I mean, they killed 20 million Russians in World War II.
so let's
Do you
talk
see?
code here. Okay. Don't forget about the code
Oh,
part.
yeah, shit. Sorry, Lizard Man.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
I'm changing
Turn the
this.
video
Look,
off.
I don't know if you saw this or if you can see it in the screen. Is it seeable? Is it
Oh
like,
yeah, nice.
it's got Trump on the
Yeah,
top.
that's awesome.
It says, keep driving, Karen.
Oh
Like
God,
in the face, best Christmas ever, going back to Christmas. Yes, I think it's
isn't it?
hilarious. Keep
That's
driving.
great. Keep driving, Karen.
Keep on going. You don't like it?
That's it.
Move on. Move on. Awesome. Well, we have a few minutes left here.
Yeah.
What's anything else you want to add before we skedaddle here tonight?
Well, you got the committee of five. They were the ones that for the Second Continental Congress, 5 members that drafted the Declaration of Independence. And it's actually funny because you had John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston. Did you know that Roger Sherman, representative of Connecticut, is the only person to sign all 4 of the U.S. state papers, the Continental Association, the Declaration, the Articles of Confederation, and the Constitution?
Wow, no, I didn't.
Yeah. Do you want to know why John Hancock's signature was so big on that document? He was the
Why?
president.
Yeah.
John Hancock was the president. So it's
Right.
like, so when they say, well, Washington was the first president, like, oh, nope, you got to back that up. He wasn't the first president. It's like, not so fast. And how many days did Jefferson have to write the draft of the Declaration of Independence?
No idea.
17 days.
How many?
17.
Oh, that special number.
Yeah, it's popped right up there, right? And I mean, it's yeah. I mean, there's quite a bit that I mean, these guys were man, they were genius beyond their years. I mean, just to give us these documents that we could actually use 250 years later, and all they were was some pissed off patriots that want to come over here and start a new start a whole new life and everything, but you know couldn't do that because what happened on May 1st of 1776. That's when Adam Weishaupt and the Illuminati formed over in America. That's on May 1st. Then you had July 4th, and they're just a bunch of pricks. That's all they are. And let's see, trying to think of some earlier questions that were asked.
Oh, yeah.
Pine tree for Christmas. Yeah, if you just look up like satanic holidays and all that, I mean, it literally says that the pine tree is a symbol of Lucifer. So, and the thing is that when they say the pine tree is the symbol of Lucifer, well, in all the Anunnaki stone carvings, you notice that they're holding up a pine cone, right? Where else is there a pine cone? The Vatican.
Yeah. Everywhere, all over the
Yeah.
Vatican. There's like
Yeah.
statues of them everywhere.
Oh yeah. So you think the Vatican's still good? No, never was. Never
Although
was.
we do have our own, we have our own pine cone right here, which is the pineal, which is what projects. So yeah. Anyway, different thing, but yeah,
Yeah.
not pine tree, not pine tree.
No. Pine tree was the symbol of Lucifer. That's why, because Christmas wasn't really Christmas.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Christmas was the end of the Saturnalia with the whole purge that they had in Roman times, and they had damn it, people, stop. Ugh.
I'm looking to see if there's any other questions. Someone's asking about blue spruce.
Yeah, that's a
Part
pine
of the
tree,
tree.
but well, it's still a pine tree. I mean, just
Someone's
stick with the
asking
palm tree.
about when will we have med beds?
That's up to Tesla and Marconi whenever they decide to wheel them out. And yeah, I could see where Trump says that. Yeah, if he said that 5 years ago, he'd be locked up in a mental institution, because we're about there right now.
People are talking about now. There's so many people talking about med beds. It's like common now. So I would think people would be ready for it. They, and you know what? When General Flynn, he has just been on and on about the people taking back the information because of the disservice of the media who won't show this stuff, and how we've all been showing it. And guess what? It's been so repetitive and so normal for so many people now. They're waking up, and it's not going to be crazy. It's not going to be crazy when they start talking about this. And I think he's probably using one, to be honest. Like,
well, the thing is that now Article 12 in the Bill of Rights is the first ever codification of the right to a free press, and was an important precursor to the First Amendment of the Constitution. So I could see why they're pissed off about that, because I mean, everything that our First Amendment was based off of was actually like freedom of press, because whenever you speak or you write something, I mean, it's technically press. I mean, you're actually putting information out there, either it's written, spoken, whatever. It's a press. I mean, you're literally you're your own walking, talking billboard. Whether you're correct or not, I mean, that's your own fault. But I mean, that's just a big learning curve that we have. So, but now when they have this with all the propaganda, with Backdoor Barry lifting the whole propaganda machine and just letting them just go at it, it's like, well, what the,
yeah. this 2:30's got to go. I'm over it. Like everybody needs, I don't know. I'll be excited for that part too, where everyone can just say what they want to now. And I mean, not to be mean and, I guess some guidelines, but the truth, I mean, they're even saying, my husband was talking about, I don't watch the news anymore, but apparently it came out that certain platforms, if you even mention anything about what happened on November 6th and the things that, I'm not going to say the words, that may be not correct about the way it was handled. If you say the words, then they're going to take down Facebook and Twitter, your pages, just by saying
Oh, you mean November
2
3rd?
words. What's up?
You mean November 3rd?
I mean, yes, November 3rd.
Oh,
Sorry.
you had me completely. I'm like November 6th.
Sorry,
November
not
6th. What
November
happened?
6th. That's
I'm like,
that's
what
a
happened
different
November
thing
6th?
for
I'm
me.
like,
But yes, and it rhymes with odor odd.
that.
But if
I
you
think I
say
could solve that. I think I could solve that, but I won't say it.
but if you say that in any way in reference to that event, then they're going to they're taking down Twitter, Facebook, all of the social medias have decided that that is harmful to talk about it. And I'm just like,
So,
is it harmful or is it truthful? I mean, you literally have these states that are suing. So someone's talking about it, but we're not allowed to talk about it.
so what if POTUS comes out with that tweet finally, says, "My fellow Americans, the storm is here," and then goes into the fraud, and then they ban him. Can you imagine him getting banned from Twitter? Holy shit, is that going to be a shitstorm?
Well, they have.
Oh,
They've actually taken,
well,
they didn't ban him, but they've taken down his own tweets. I
yeah,
mean, come on.
and that's the thing. They've always treated him like a second-class citizen in a third-world country, and that's bullshit.
It is.
You know, the
It is.
press has, and they're dying to get Biden in there. Why? It's like, because you guys are so pedo-friendly. And it's like, if people want to sit here and say, "Oh, you support Trump, but you're a racist," well, if you support Biden, then you're a pedophile. I mean, it has to go both ways. I mean, Barry don't.
Okay.
Homo.
All right. So what do you got going because I know you got a lot happening. I want to make sure everybody can find you wherever you're doing things, and then I'll tell you what Jason and I are doing next week on the 17th is we have Laura Eisenhower and Magenta, and there's a couple other people who are in different time zones that we're still working out, and so our normal 7:00 may not be 7:00. We might have to do it at 1, but it will be recorded, and I will give you the details. Jason and I already talked about it, but
you can't have it recorded. You'd have to have it live if you're going to do the.
It's going to be live, but we're going to record it so people can watch it after. That's what I mean.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
But so I'll make sure and put it out there. The more details that I get, I'm still waiting on 2 other people in different times. It's really fun getting like 5 or 6 people together that live in different countries all over. But that's happening. And then tell me what you're doing.
There's a couple things. The hospitals won't run the med beds. The hospitals will be gone because the hospitals are actually under the big pharma, because it's the Knights of the Hospitallers that were actually taken under the Knights of Malta, which is, that's where you have your old big pharma. That's where the problem is. So what they'll have is, it's just like the banks. The banks will turn into wealth distribution centers, so they won't be banks anymore. So they'll be like switched over, and you won't even need big buildings like that anymore for hospitals. I mean, because you could just have, first of all, you want to take care of everybody that has like cancer and all that. You want to take care of everybody that has all the kids that had diseases, everything, and veterans that lost limbs and everything like that, PTSD. Let them all go first, and then then we can go, because I mean, it's only fair, especially the veterans, because they've been treated like shit the whole time, and it's our turn to we're just gonna we're gonna fire it back, bring it all out, and then just heal them, because I mean they have to have they have to be fixed, because I mean this this 22 a day. No, not around. Nope. And then we have the monoliths. And
Yeah.
it's funny that one of
There's
the
like
monoliths,
6 of them.
well, one of the monoliths, it appeared in San Luis Obispo County.
Yep.
Would you like to know something about that county?
What about it?
Who died in that county that would be a big part of this?
Don't know.
It'd be L. Ron Hubbard.
Oh,
L. Ron
yeah.
Hubbard's talking to us. Okay,
Well,
everybody says L. Ron Hubbard is talking to us because of the simple fact that Scientology, when it was created, that was the antithesis of MK Ultra.
Yep.
So what he was doing was he was teaching people how to self-audit themselves, like they can go back in their mental, their memory and everything to, to every life that they've lived.
Yep. To
And
clear.
all the way, all the way to the Markabians. And that's where the reptilians came in.
Yep.
And guess who let them in? They had to have somebody here to let them stay here so they weren't a slave race. They were the Hebrews. Thanks, guys. The Hebrew Blood Alliance. It's like, you guys just screwed everything up, but then you sit here and you're like, oh well, oh sorry. It's like, why do we think that L. Ron Hubbard's talking to us? Well, simple. His son was really good at auditing and all that, and they kidnapped him. They took him to Vegas, and they tried to trap him. Tried to trap L. Ron Hubbard.
Yep.
And he didn't take the bait, so they found his son dead. It was October 28th, 1976.
Yep.
And his name was Quentin. So, what day did the Q drop start?
That special letter again.
Yeah, the Q drop started on October 28th, 2017. And then son's first name was Quentin.
And this monolith thing was the monolith is found there.
And yes, in that county. And there's even more. So when you pull up his because I have his death certificate, everything like that, his death certificate was actually from the date he died to when it was filed, 17 years. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Yeah, since it was stamped, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Then it's like, when does a songbird sing? Well, a nightingale is a songbird. His attorney was on Nightingale Avenue. I'm like, that's another one. I mean, let's just start chalking them off, right? Then they give you a map, right? Well, no, first of all, you go to the next page and they talk about a pathologist, right? Because P equals C. Pathologist equals coroner. Same thing. The pathologist's name was Carl E. Kirchner. Carl was spelled with a K. K-E-K, Keck.
What is Keck? You lost me.
Keck. The frog. Keck. There's, the whole Keck. With Q. 4chan, 8chan, Keck. Yeah. Carl H. Kirchner, right? So that's that. Then
you're so fast.
The San Luis Obispo, the coroner's office was on a certain road on this map, and it's circled, right? Guess what the road's name was? Kansas. It was the only thing on the road. It's number 3. It says Kansas. Trust Kansas. The coroner. He faked his death. That's exactly what he did.
Wow.
Because they cremated him right afterwards, and they were like, "Oh well, he's just cremated now." So that's.
So you think he's in Venezuela with everybody else?
Hell yeah, he is. This whole thing's going down with vengeance. I mean, if you look all throughout time, you see like all these brilliant people, like these brilliant scientists, like
Tesla,
Marconi, and they even said Marconi died at a young age. He didn't die. He just went, he took his luxury yacht. He went down to Venezuela. He got in that crater. It had built that huge self-sustaining underground bunker and all that. It had 98 scientists come join him. 98. That's a 17. There's a Q. Just saying. So when they all went down there, well, they were making all of the gifts for us for our golden age, because you can't have ET do it. because not one of them speak all the different,
Right.
languages that we do. The language barriers would be completely off. Couldn't even do it. So you would just be, treading water. So now what do you do? This is when, you have them. That's why in Venezuela, it's a communist country. And that's why they're starving all the people out, because they're like, you people know where they're at. It's like, no tengo, no tengo mucho, it's like, they don't know. Nobody knows. The only time that they've been out is when they go up in the sky. And they've been to Mars, it takes a couple days, and they've been to the moon, it takes a couple hours. That's it. I mean, and they went there in the 30s.
Actually, it's faster to go to Mars now, but that's another story. Anyway, so the monoliths, there's one in North Carolina, one in Utah, one in Romania. There's 3 in California. And then there are a lot of them are disappearing.
I have the writing on one too.
Some of them
I'll send it to you.
Well, some are like 6 feet tall, 10 feet tall. Some are 3 feet. Like they're all different sizes, and some people, 4 guys actually said that they did one of them. They could be lying, and then one got stolen. They have a video of one being stolen. Like, why would people steal this stuff? I mean, come on, like what? Anyway, interesting. So
I mean, if an ET would have put it there, you'd think they put it in a nicer neighborhood, then they'd be getting stolen. But just saying. So here, I'm gonna go ahead and send this to you, because I have a picture of the writing on one of the monoliths.
Oh, there's writing?
Yes, there is.
I thought that.
And you can tell that. I sent it to your Twitter, and you could tell just by the writing that it is. It is not of this world at all.
No, you're right. That's all symbol. You guys.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's like,
I'm gonna post on there. I'll post it on there.
But yeah, that doesn't look like anything English for sure, or Venezuelan.
Oh no. Oh no. They don't speak commie around there.
Interesting. Well, we'll keep on watching and seeing. They did talk about full disclosure. They've been talking about it for years, and even going back to what you were saying.
There's full disclosure right there.
Yeah, the flat map. I mean, the flat Earth. We're going to do this one day.
I'm just saying, right there, the red mark.
Yeah.
That right there is a trip to Venezuela from Hong Kong. Why would you go that way?
Wait, do it again.
Yeah.
Wait, can you show it again one more time now that I know what I'm looking at? Okay, I see. Okay.
Because when you type it into any flight, like you want to buy flight tickets and all that. So what it did was it took me from Hong Kong, it took me to Finland, Helsinki, Finland, then it took me to Brussels, then it took me to Madrid, Spain, and then it took me to Venezuela.
Wow.
So
I mean,
yeah.
It does that with us too when we fly Delta, and if we're trying to go to California from Louisiana, we have to go to Atlanta every time to go to California. Like, why can't we just go straight? Or even go up and over. Like, why go to Delta and I don't know, like Atlanta all the way to go to, anyway. But you're right. I am really ready to have this conversation. I really am. So when you are ready to do just flat Earth, I am so ready to have this conversation.
Always ready. It's just they keep on interrupting us with more important shit. They need to calm it down. It's like, look, you guys had your fun before. You guys got to know Thursdays are night. Do shit on Wednesdays. Like, come on. Don't do shit on Thursdays. Do shit on Wednesdays.
Do shit on Wednesdays.
Do somewhere else.
Well, we might have to have like a special thing where it won't be current events. That's just for that or something, right? But we'll talk about it.
We could bust everybody's bubble, and we could just like crush everybody's hopes and dreams on one episode, and like wear a Santa hat. That'd be nice.
Awesome.
Because Santa's just Satan switched around. That's all.
That too. So yeah. So okay. So next week we're on for the 17th, and also Carrie Cassidy is going to have both of us on. I don't know if it's going to be next week or the week after, but I will give you guys details when I know more. I have Sean Stone on next Friday. That's going to be interesting. I have Roger Richards on, who's the director that we talked about earlier, on next week too. So I'll give you guys all the details. I don't have it literally in front of me, but I know you're on with, aren't you on with Ward?
Actually, well, because Charlie, he uploads his later, but Sunday night at 11 p.m. I got Charlie Ward, but it's not live. And then Tuesday the 15th, 10:30 a.m. Spiritually Raw. Then 16th I have Nick at 10 a.m. and then I've got Dean at 8:30. Then Thursday we have a roundtable deal, and then the 18th 8:30 with Dean. And there might be more that pops in. Who knows?
Yes.
I mean,
So
I'm a
we'll
talker. I chat.
definitely keep you guys posted. I'm going to be on some kind of Gale with Gaia too, and some guy from Venice. Do you know anything
Okay.
about? We'll find out. But
Gail of Gaia, she
Gail-
always has Drake. Yeah, she always has Drake Bailey on.
okay.
That right there is the 17.
Okay.
He's the one that his family, his lineage actually controls the Stargates.
Oh, well, that's going to be fun. So she'll have a lot of information. I'm sure that'll be fun. So,
Well, I mean, I have articles from, when he was devising the plan and all that back in 2008.
okay.
Found the articles and all that. So yeah, I mean, if you go back and listen to any of his, because they're about 2 hours long, with her and him. I mean, he's given just straight out just info, just crazy info. But it's all,
Okay.
I mean, it's legit. So,
I'll check it out. Definitely. You guys hear all that and check it out. And I will I'm going to post everything that we are doing. So you guys keep watching. You can get notifications or whatever. And I encourage you, Jason, to put your schedule up too, so people can know where you're at and be able to attend anything that is live. I know some of it's recorded with Charlie, but you're awesome. Thanks for everything.
You're
and
awesome.
Glad to hang out with you guys tonight. Glad to hang out with you, Jay. As always, you make me crack up laughing over
Hell
some
yeah.
of your
Well,
funny.
the thing is, we have to, because I mean, if we were all serious, I mean, this would really suck. I mean, we got to lighten up and understand that we actually won this shit. I mean, this is good shit. Be happy.
Yes.
These people that are moping around like nothing's happening, stomping around. It's like throw a book at their head. It could be any book, even a TV guide, whatever. Just throw it right at their head. Why not?
Coming from the guy who hasn't watched TV in like 2 decades, but I'm sure you got a TV guide around somewhere.
There's always something to throw around here. Read a paper, whatever. I mean, it's here.
Well, take care and tell Charlie I said hey.
I definitely will.
Awesome. And he is the other person we're waiting on for Thursday. So it depends on his schedule, guys, but we'll see. We might have him on as well. And then there's one more secret guest that I'm really hoping we'll get in on our panel too. But again, I don't want to speak it until we actually have confirmation. But you guys are great. Definitely follow him on Facebook. He can't have any more friends because there's a limit, but you can follow him. So hit the follow button.
I'm usually over on Twitter though, because I mean,
that's what I was going to say. Go on Twitter,
Facebook,
and I have the links. Yeah, I have the links on here. Go to his Twitter because that's where he posts all his like really good stuff too. And we will see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Awesome. Have a good one, guys. Y'all take care.
All right. Good.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hell yeah.